Tower of Pathetic Gameplay, and Tower of Example Tower. Both of those towers have remained standing in their own islands all throughout the early stages of ZToA's development. While the two towers did receive progress, with ToPG being on floor 4 and ToET having stuff on floors 1 and 4, it didn't seem like anything new was being implemented into both of those towers. The portals remained cold, the towers themselves remained unfinished, and no motivation was there to continue the towers. But then, just like Tower of Epic Collabs, I stepped in once again. So it's actually very important for you to have a background of these two towers. It will help you understand the whole thing more clearly. So firstly, ToPG was originally being worked on by Z and ToET. They made the tower really similar to Tower of Annoyingly Simple Trials and ZToA. The colors and the fact that it's supposed to be a tutorial tower support this. Obviously, as you could tell if you played the tower, the gameplay is very dated, with a bunch of repeated jumps. It's from nearly 1.5 years ago anyways, so it's not really a big surprise. Let's move on to Tower of Example Tower. Conveniently, this tower was also being worked on by Z and ToET. However, it didn't receive as much progress as ToPG did. This tower did have a cool concept, however. It was just a default tower colors, but there was also going to be a tower crossing. The towers you go through in this first tower crossing are Tower of Basic Activities, Tower of Expanding Layers, which is nerf, and Tower of Glitter, which is buff. Before I even became a creator, sometimes I'd be given Fly or VM and go over to ToPG and ToET just to see if there was anything new. I'd also wonder if they would ever be finished. After noticing Z and ToET's lack of motivation to finish those towers, I started doubting that both towers would ever be finished. But finally, towards the end of March 2022, a miracle happened. So I know what you're thinking. Why are you showing us the day of April Fools? Well, that day is very important. So just to rewind a bit, for starters, in March 27th, some controversy happened in a separate server that caused ToET to lose his co-owner role. Due to that, Z had a plan that when it reaches April Fools, he'll give me the co-owner role. That's right, but usually, Z would probably take it away once April Fools ended. Well, not this time. He kept it there to make people, ToET included, believe that I was the new co-owner as a joke, but it stayed because, well, Z wanted me as the new co-owner of the game. He wanted this to happen before anyways, because ToET was too focused on other things that weren't related to ZToA. With that said, I gained studio access to all of ZToA. I was very happy. I immediately started to make changes, like revamping the Great Plaza a little bit, putting the corner flip script into Tower of Elaborate Solutions, and more smaller updates. I started to look at Tower of Pathetic Gameplay a little more, and was thinking if I should actually finish that. I asked Z, and he said he didn't mind if I finished them. Needless to say, I was pretty excited to finally finish the rest of the tower. Except that's not how it really went. First, I was actually fixing and revamping parts that were already in the tower before continuing where it died. However, Tower of Example Tower was also looking dry, and I wanted to do something about it. Like before, Z didn't care if I also worked on Tower of Example Tower. We also came up with a plan where Z would finish ToPG, and I would work on ToET on April 3rd, 2022. Z was making some really fast progress, but unfortunately, despite fitting the name, the gameplay was lazy and lacked creativity, especially at the last two floors. Still, by the end I was close to finishing floor 2 of ToET, and Z was done with ToPG, and I was very glad. So only 2 days after I became co-owner, ToPG was already done and released. But what about Tower of Example Tower? Well, by the time I finished Floor 3 and April 4th, I was thinking about just how insane the tower can be with its tower crossing. So not only was I trying to be very creative, I was also trying to be innovative with how many places you can go. I made a second tower crossing that goes through Tower of Quick Construction, Citadel of Temptation, and Tower of Sunrise Terror. Next, there's a recording of me at 7 outside going on a long zip line on April 8th. At the end, I appeared to be in an area with 2 great boxes. As it turns out, these are the win rings. The smaller one for wanted to be a tower, and the bigger one for the normal tower wins. This time it's filled with a lot of obstacles, because all the parts are client-sided, so you can't see it until you go into the tower. That's how crazy I wanted this to be. By the time I reached Floor 8 on the same day, I was starting to run low on ideas, but that didn't stop me from finishing it. Floor 9 has a direct reference to Tower of Lost Hopes from the old game. However, the split X platforms is from the revamp of Tower of Lost Hopes, found in World's Best Towers. Once the player goes onto the teleporter, I made a little passageway right next to the main lobby island with a gliding chamber. Corner clipping would put them inside the island with obstacles inside. Floor 10 was now a work in progress on the same day as it finished Floor 7. Quick construction if I say so myself. Now the final tower crossing contains Tower of Pathetic gameplay from earlier, Tower of Rising Difficulty, and Tower of Senseless Eternal Pain, before being transported to the lobby island. You have to find 4 hidden buttons before pressing another on the roof. After doing the button hunt, you do Wanted to be a Tower and Tower Symmetrical Shapes, before finally being put back into the main tower. It sounds overwhelming, but they aren't as bad as you think. All of these implementations in just less than 9 days after I started working on it. I really had the motivation to build that fast. With the final jump put in, I was finally done. Playtesting went through and Z released the tower the next day. Bug fixes and slight nerfs were put in, and the tower was officially complete. With the help of Z, we got both towers that died a year prior to release. Wow. It's amazing how it only took me and Z less than 10 days to revive both towers. They are essential for ZToA, because that means Ring 1 was almost complete. We just need one more intense tower, which I actually just finished right now as of this recording. I think as the new co-owner, it felt honorable to do all of these things for Z. It feels good to finish what was a part of the history of ZToA. Thanks for watching.